Welcome to the Wednesday Watch, a quick look at the creative choices fueling engaging stories and branded content. Brands increasingly are trying to humanize themselves or their products. But many times their efforts come across as a fake smile. True smiles can't be faked. Real smiles use more muscles around the eyes, muscles that we have no control over. So while we can force our mouth to form a smile, we can't make our eyes sparkle. And in case you couldn't guess by now you can see which is fake and which is real. In this Wednesday Watch, we're going to give you a few tips on how to avoid faking a smile with your brand content and story. You may have seen Maslow's hierarchy of needs popping up more frequently lately. People really need to feel that their most basic human needs were being met during the crisis, so brands tried figuring out how to be more human in response. Early in the crisis, we saw several brands put out PSA type of content promoting social distancing to ensure everyone's safety, that basic need in Maslow's chart. So many redesigned their logo to demonstrate and encourage social distancing, as if to say they're helping flatten the curve too, for all of our benefit, a very human-like action. And while they had the best of intentions, they somehow failed to resonate as well as they wished. It's like the difference between a fake versus a real smile. They both look pretty real, but there is something just a bit off. So here are some tips to humanize your content and get as close to a real smile as possible and have it resonate better. Number 1, honesty is the best policy. You need to be genuine and sincere in the purpose of the content. And you need to be authentic and true to your brand. Does it make sense to be doing it in the way that you're doing it? Number 2, act natural. You don't want to try too hard and you don't want to force it. You can't put that square peg into a round hole. And lastly, you need to make it easy to digest. It has to be simple to understand. Entire regions of our brains are dedicated to recognizing faces. So the quicker your audience grasps the idea or concept of your branded content, the face of the brand basically, the sooner they can relate. One example that used these concepts well was the logo redesign by Audi. And some full disclosure here, a family member of mine does work at Audi. So let's look at the 3 tips and see how they were used in this redesign. First, like with any brand communication, it has to feel authentic, and the intent here feels genuinely honest. Second, this separation feels natural. The linked circles seem to be individual objects that can be easily unlinked. The redesign doesn't change the original logo too much, so it doesn't feel odd or awkward. It doesn't feel forced. As I watched this, I found myself visualizing the circles as humans, like stick figures or even smiley faces, and it made the whole thing feel really human. There's a term for this, and if I say it 10 times, 9 of those times I'm going to mispronounce it, but here it goes. Anthropomorphism. Anthropomorphism is defined as attributing human characteristics to a non-human entity. Anthropomorphized beings are a staple of storytelling. Attributing human intent to non-human things helps us make sense of the behavior of those things we encounter. So the logo redesign wasn't distracting, and it allowed my subconscious to fill in those gaps with my anthropomorphic imagination. So to recap the 3 tips to humanize your content. 1, be honest and authentic. Number 2, act natural, don't try too hard. And lastly, make it easy to digest, make it simple to understand. Thanks for watching the Wednesday Watch. Hopefully you can apply these concepts in your next project.